All right, first look, week 16. It's a Monday. Lot to go over. A lot of news we're waiting on. Jalen Hurts being the biggest. Also waiting on like Ryan Tannehill, Justin Fields possibly, Lamar possibly. There's a lot. So I actually looked over the slate last night, made a video. It did not record, but I wanted to just get this off again before looking at any projections, looking at any ownerships, and even before watching like Gary's from ETR's first look video. I came away with two really big strategic points from this slate, one being Garner Minshew, the other being DK Metcalf. And I will try my best at the end of this video to kind of articulate my thoughts around there, because honestly, I'm still struggling to kind of comprehend just the game theory that goes into and kind of like the thought process that goes into approaching these kind of situations. So let's just jump in. I may even build a lineup at the end, because I actually built the lineup like literally the day the slate came out, like Sunday night. Actually, no, today's Tuesday morning. Sorry, not Monday morning. And I don't really expect those to necessarily be plus EV, but I do them for fun and to kind of get exposure to pricing. So hopping right into it, it's going to be 10 games on this Saturday slate. We have 5 games with totals under 40. I think that's the first time like ever. We have a 32 total, which is ridiculous. So gonna just make note of kind of like some players that I like over here on teams. And their prices, just as like a reference point. Something that I'm trying to improve on is not relying too much on the projections and still kind of injecting my own opinions, but also not losing bigger picture sight of just the total slate, the total players. Sometimes I get really locked in on a game or one or two games, or I full fade a game and then I all in on another game. And my player pool just, I think I start with it too small. So, okay. Okay. Atlanta at Baltimore. Baltimore 7.5 total. I think that's move, and I think that's indicating that Lamar may play. I don't actually know though. I don't know what the practice reports are. Full fading Atlanta. I'm not even going to look at the prices. J.K. Dobbins at 5,800, probably not. The only piece I like here, and I'll write this down, is Mark Andrews at 5,500. This game is disgusting, though. Most likely going to be a full fade. Lions at Panthers. A couple of things stood out to me. One, the only Panther I would consider playing is DJ Moore at 5,500. But Jared Goff's price at 5,400 looked quite cheap. And then Swift, I haven't looked at the snap shares yet. That's something that I will make a note of. Snap shares for RBs. I'm probably not playing Swift, but he's interesting. And then I think Amon Ra is actually still interesting and in play. So I'll put Amon Ra at 7,800. Other than that, this game probably is going to suck. Maybe a defense is viable here. Okay, Bill Chicago. So I remember when I first looked at this, I think even at the prices, 8,500 for Allen, 8,500 for Diggs, 5K for Davis, 4K for McKenzie. They bumped Knox to 4,100. Diggs and Allen just have really, really high ceilings, and even Davis to an extent, to where they're kind of always in play for me. This is in the cold in Chicago, probably windy as well. But I can see the Bills just putting up, 30 to 40 points on the Bears here. Singletary kind of intrigues me, so I want to look at snap shares for Bills RBs. I'm such a sucker for Singletary. He just doesn't really get in from the red zone, from like the 10-yard line and up. And Josh Allen takes like a lot of those carries. But I think the only thing I'm interested in I guess possibly Montgomery. He had a pretty good week last week. Kind of want to know the snap shares though, and I kind of want to know if Khalil Herbert's coming back. I don't think he is if he's 4K. And then Claypool may be back, so I'll just put a question mark there. I don't actually know what the receiver's snap share was, so we'll put that down. But they all kind of dudded. Also, we're waiting on Justin Fields' health, and then no interest in Kmet. I would only really play Knox in a Allen stack. Okay, that's enough on that game, sorry. Saints and Browns, this is just a full fade. It's a 32 total in Cleveland, in wind. Maybe Chubb. Probably not, though. No Kamara. He just got vultured a lot by David Johnson, got vultured by Taysom Hill. This offense and team sucks. I know Rashid is cheap, but no thank you. Amari's cheap, but still no thank you. I like Njoku, but no, full fade. This, I think, is going to be the second most popular game stack. And we're going to get to this at the end of the video, but I think DK Metcalf's going to be the most owned player on the slate. So I'm going to put down DK Metcalf at 7,100 and then put a bunch of stars. Geno is 5,800. So this is pretty intriguing. Mahomes, I don't tend to play Mahomes as much as other people. I obviously like him, but his pieces are usually just so expensive. Like you can see down here, Kelsey is 8,000. However, I really like Juju this week. His price stayed the same, and I like MVS only at 4,300. I don't know what I think about, so Lockett's going to be out. I don't know what I think about the other Seattle receivers, so maybe look at their snap shares. And then I guess Fant and Disley and Geno stacks. But this game really intrigues me. This game is the highest total on the slate. I think it was the second highest total, but some others have moved around. And so as of Tuesday, it's the highest total at 48. Seattle defense sucks. I even like Kenneth Walker here. I think he may get overlooked a lot if Metcalf's going to be the most popular player on the slate. And I just love Metcalf. And what I'm going to kind of, I guess, foreshadow here or hint at is like I'm trying to comprehend how to attack a 7,100 Metcalf that's going to be projected for a lot of points and a lot of ownership. You know, do I just play him as a one-off? Do I play him in Geno stacks and aggressively play other Seattle pieces like a Kenneth Walker, like a Noah Fant, and hope that game just explodes and it doesn't all go to Metcalf? Or do I hope it explodes and it all goes to Metcalf and I only play him? Do I play, any Chiefs with him? Can I play him as a one-off? I think a lot of people are going to stack Mahomes, run it back with Metcalf, stack Geno, run it back with like McKinnon, Kelsey. Pacheco just doesn't play on third down or the red zone or like the fourth quarter. It's pretty sad. And I think these other guys, I think Hardman's out. So yeah, we're going to come back to this. So moving on, Giants at Vikings. I only like Saquon on the Giants. He is too cheap. These prices came out pretty early. He's just getting such a massive percent of the offense. I guess Richie James at 3,900 is worth looking at. I don't know what value seems pretty tight on this slate, so that stood out to me. And then Jay Jefferson. Actually don't think he'll be that owned at 9,300. And this is in a dome at home. Don't really like Cook. Hawkinson's too pricey. They did bump KJ Osborne, but yeah, always love Justin Jefferson. So going to the next game here, Cincy at Patriots. This is actually one of my favorite plays in the slate, and Joe Mixon. His price went down, And I know New England has a really good defense and a really good D-line and good linebackers, but this is just way too cheap for how big of a role Mixon has. And I like Cincy's offense. He does concede some work to P. Ryan, especially some passing down work, but I just think Chase and Higgins may be too expensive. Boyd's kind of interesting down here. And then it's just a full fade on the Patriots. Also, Hayden Hurst may be coming back. I would only consider any Patriot if it was like a solo Ramondre or Damian. Like if Damian was starting with Ramondre out or vice versa. Texans at Titans, 37 total. Texans, I don't know who's gonna, so I'll put this down. Texans receivers, starters, and snap share. They bumped more again, and now he's just getting ridiculous for how bad this offense is. Honestly, Dorsett still may be a play if he starts at 3,100 or Rodgers at 3,400. I don't know yet on the health or availability of Cooks or Collins. I guess I'll monitor that. So basically fading Texans, and then I know Henry's going to be popular, but I think he's a good play at 8,600. And possibly Traylon Burks at 4,600, assuming he's back. Let's see here. And then I think Chig's just too expensive for the role that he plays now. He just doesn't play enough on the field. Okay, Commanders at 49ers. This is actually my favorite game. So I think it's going to get overlooked. It has a 39.5 total. Granted, I basically hate the whole Commander side. I don't understand these prices. Like, why is McLaurin 6,200? I guess Dotson at 3,900. I don't even know how much he plays or how many routes he runs. These prices came out before the Showdown Giants Commanders game finished, but I just can't play anyone really. Their team sucks. But I like a lot of pieces from the 49ers. I like Brock Purdy at 5,500. I love CMC at 8,800. I don't think Debo's playing, so I like Ayuk. And this is a spot where I like playing two 49ers, even if I'm not stacking it. Like, even if I don't play Purdy, playing a Debo with an Ayuk's kind of expensive. But Kittle's 5,300. So depending on Debo's health, which I think he's out, I can see myself playing at least one 49er, possibly two. I don't hate that at all. And not playing any Commanders. Most likely, maybe Dotson. And then this is the, I think, first or second most intriguing piece of the slate. Is this, let's just assume Jalen Hurts is out. Gardner Minshew at 4,800. You have to ask yourself a lot of questions. Like, what is, so at different ownerships, take the projection as a constant. Let's say that he projects for 14 points or something like that. That may be even low. How is the EV affected when ownership goes from 10% to 20% to 30% to 40% to, I can see this getting, I don't know if I can see it getting to 50, but 10 to 40% is a big range, right? Especially in the higher stakes, smaller field, single entry contests. This is going to be the most stacked game. Gardner Minshew is going to be played naked. He's going to be played in stacks. He's going to be played with Cowboys on the run back or bring back. And so I don't really know. I'd have to basically simulate the slate, simulate ownerships to know the EV of this kind of, and I think in the past, I just do things like full fade or, what if you play Sanders with Minshew? Is that, even though they kind of negatively correlate, is there enough positive leverage there that makes that a plus EV play? How do you play Sanders? And so I just think Minshew here, I don't know why it's spacing. What's going on here? Minshew is 4,800. What are paths for him to fail? When he succeeds, what does that look like? What is the field? How does the field benefit? How does the field not benefit? So I'm going to make another video Friday, and I'm gonna really try to have the question about Metcalf and Minshew answered by then. But I'm just trying to like prepare myself for what kind of questions I need to be asking. Another coach was talking about getting Sanders the ball more. I kind of like Pollard. I think we'll be a bit contrarian. Prescott is pretty cheap. He doesn't have a ton of volume anymore, but he can be pretty efficient with the volume. And I always like CD, especially at home in a dome. And then AJ Brown, expensive against a good defense, but I think you can still play these guys, especially with how cheap Minshew is. I probably wouldn't stack 2 players with Minshew. And then Goddard is back. Probably not playing him, but maybe because I'm actually like very bullish on Goddard. I played him a bunch early in the season. And then Schultz, I guess, got a price reduction here by 200. So this game is just fascinating to me. I think this is going to be the most owned game, and then the Seahawks-Chief game will be the second most owned game, or maybe one of the maybe I have that wrong, but yeah, this is kind of who I like. So as you can see, I think a lot of what's popular as of now, and so I need to kind of think about ways that I can get different, think about why and where the field is going, and how you can win, basically, and what it's going to take to win. And so I will be making like a more in-depth video on Friday where I'm going to incorporate projections, ownerships, pivots, just kind of my general thoughts. This was just kind of to quickly overview the prices and the players in the games. And so thanks for watching. I'll be back Friday.